Hello and welcome to Rudaw. I'm Roger Alizala in Gainesville, Florida. Gainesville, Florida, because there's a delegation from the Duhok governorate in Iraqi Kurdistan visiting Gainesville to discuss a program, a sister city program between Duhok and Gainesville, which has been signed. With the delegation, there are a number of individuals working on different areas, one of whom is Dr. Honar Issa, member of the Board of Trustees of the American University in Duhok. Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Issa. Allow me to start with why Gainesville?
Thank you for the time. And why Gainesville? Because University of Florida and American University of Kurdistan, entered an agreement back in 2020 when we basically got the grant from the State Department, and that's the grant for building capacity for the accreditation process that the American University of Kurdistan has planned for. So the accreditation is on the institutional level and programmatic level. So we started that partnership, and that partnership spawned the seeds of having practically taking steps towards having the sister city agreement. The idea actually goes back to 2008. With some individuals, the Kurdish individuals, Bahar, Armaghani, started actually talking to the city of Duhok. But in terms of taking practical steps towards executing that idea, that came from that partnership with the American University of Kurdistan and University of Florida. So we started the partnership to establish building information modeling lab. That's for architectural engineering program that we have, as well as the interior design, and to establish the Center of Excellence for Sustainability. And the sustainability not in just renewable energy or any kind of energy, but also sustainability in leadership, sustainability in management, and sustainability in many other aspects that you can take in.
What can the University of Florida or the sister city program in Gainesville can offer Duhok in general, you being from a university that is in Duhok, but also particularly to the American University in Duhok?
The thing is, the sister city agreement goes back to the cultural relationship. It could be cultural, it could be economical, it could be, but mainly it starts with the cultural relationship between the people of the two cities. But we just wanted to expand that into having relationship to support the local government for their efforts in developing economical and social and environmental projects that they have. So we started, in terms of the education, we've been able to discuss a lot of areas, common interest areas, like doing research in agriculture, doing research in medical science, and also tourism. These are the areas that the universities can cooperate.
Right. I accompanied your delegation to one of the University of Florida's labs. There were a lot of agricultural projects. There were a lot of research on those agricultural products and crops. What are some of the research that is being conducted here that could be actually beneficial to University of Duhok and Duhok population in general? And what can Duhok in that regard offer Gainesville?
That's a good question in terms of why they should have mutual interest, common area that they can work on. So a lot of cases exist in Duhok, and they don't exist here in terms of medical research. So they would be interested to know what's going on in that part of the world. So they have been very generous in offering their laboratories to the faculty members, to the researchers back in any institution, any university in Duhok, and use them for the sake of discovering and exploring more about the disease that existed in there. And at the same time, they would be happy to share a lot of knowledge and information that they have with respect to certain diseases. I'm talking about medical science, but in the same time, we're talking about crops in terms of the agriculture, because as you could see, they had a huge land that allocated for research purposes, and that land is somehow could be used by the researchers in Duhok. It could be either University of Duhok or any other universities that they have agricultural program. And at the same time, tourism industry, they wanted to help build the capacity of the local government for that sake. So as you could see, that the partnerships, with the universities would not remain just between faculty members and the students, but also would go beyond that to support the local governments to build their own capacity and to would be able to build their own capacity and be able to basically execute the programs that they have for the betterment of the people.
It's interesting that you talked about the benefits that would go to students, for example, on both sides. But I know that you guys have, or the University of Duhok, American University in Duhok has a memorandum of understanding with the University of Florida. But in this particular visit, the delegation and the sister city program, is there any other agreements that you guys are eyeing? Is there any agreement that is being signed for especially student exchange between not only American University in Duhok, but other universities in Duhok and vice versa?
So coincidentally, we spoke about, with the researcher team, we spoke about starting with the lowest hanging fruit, and that's going to be like on the student-to-student collaboration, and that's starting with a debate, like a hybrid debate among the students.
How does that happen?
That's going to be online. So a group of a student would be here at the University of Florida, and the group of a student would be different, institutions, including American University of Kurdistan, would be there to discuss a particular problem with the community and to resolve it within a kind of a very healthy debate that they might have, to exchange the experiences that both environments would have.
The American University of Duhok, or in Duhok, is that the only university that is benefiting from this program, or is it extending to other universities in Duhok as well?
Yeah, as I mentioned, this partnership is not just only to benefit American University, but also to benefit the other components of the Duhok province, including University of Duhok, Polytechnic University, and University of Zaha.
Dr. Honar Issa, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.